What's up, everybody? Renfail here, and I'm sitting here on the Xbox, and I actually logged on to check out my Starfield preload because that happened today. Because we are prepped and ready to go for the August 31st head start. I've got the premium edition prepped and ready. But also today I did a first impressions video of Everspace 2, which I actually previously played on the PlayStation. And while I was sitting here, I just got to thinking about things. And anybody who's been around my channel for any length of time knows that, um, I used to play a lot of MMORPGs, and MMORPGs were a big part of my life for a long time before I became a content creator. And paying that $15 a month always felt good for the amount of entertainment that I was getting. However, I would argue that in the last 4 to 5 years, I have begun to appreciate more and more the value of what you get from a subscription for an ecosystem. Right now, I'm on the Xbox ecosystem. Before this, I was on the PlayStation ecosystem. I had a PS4. I still have a PS4. I keep Red Dead Redemption 2 on it. I was actually eyeballing Red Dead Redemption 2 on my Xbox the other day, going, "Oh, I'd love to play it on my Series X, but I have no time, and I'm not going to do that to myself because I've already played that game through 3 times. But it is such a good game. I would happily play it again." But on the PS4, I spent 5, 6 years. I didn't buy it at the very beginning, but I spent 5, 6 years on the ecosystem and played. I had the subscription service, PS Plus or whatever it's called these days. Um, and I even had at one point in time the service that they used to have where you could stream games for a monthly fee and you got access to all like this back catalog of like PS2 and PS3 games, and that was a pretty amazing service for the value. And then when I got a Series X, it was because I couldn't get my hands on a PS5, and I waited like a year, and I was just checking Amazon every single day, and finally a Series X popped up, and I said to Chris, I was like, "Do you mind if I buy this? Because I've been waiting for a while." And that was right when we were getting ready. We knew we were moving from the city to the homestead, and we knew that I was going to be transitioning into going full time on YouTube. So it was a business expense and it was for content creation. And I have to say that as much as I love the PlayStation ecosystem, um, I feel the Xbox ecosystem is better for one specific reason, and that's because I have Game Pass Ultimate, which means I get games for the console and I also get games for my PC. And if you watch my First Impressions series here on YouTube, you'll notice that a lot of the videos that I do first impressions on these days, I would argue probably 90% of those games are coming from the Game Pass Ultimate subscription I have, whether it's from the Xbox or the PC. Occasionally, I'll do something from Steam or Epic because I get free games from those places all the time. But I like 90% of it's from this ecosystem, from the Xbox ecosystem. And I think that for my money, the I think it's like $17 a month as of this recording. Getting access to all of these different games means that I get a ton of cool stuff that I get to play, and a lot of it is single player, but there's quite a lot of multiplayer as well. If we go into the games that I have currently loaded, I've got Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty pre-ordered. I've got Starfield pre-ordered, but Sea of Thieves is on Game Pass. I got Everspace 2 today on. Did the video on that one today. I got that downloaded yesterday. Game Pass, Fallout 4, Game Pass, Grand Theft Auto 5, which I've never played, and I've been dabbling with it here because I loved Red Dead. That's Game Pass. My Halo collection. I've played Halo Infinite through 2 or 3 times now. That was on Game Pass, and I have slowly been purchasing some games like Diablo 4 I own outright, Starfield I own outright, Cyberpunk I own outright. I have like let's go over here. Let's go to full library owned games. Where is it here? Oh, I played Destiny. Well, Destiny 2 is free to play. Oh, the Skyrim. Here's what it is. Ah, hang on. I went down to the wrong thing. Um, Skyrim. I own that. The Elder Scrolls. I also own The Witcher Complete Edition, which was the Series X upgrade. Jedi Survivor. I own. And then I've tried uh, like Neverwinter Online, Star Trek Online, Destiny 2, some other things, Call of Duty because I love, and I've done quite a bit. I haven't done it in about a year, I would argue, but I do like I do like Call of Duty a lot. I think the battle royale stuff is. I don't really. The DMZ is what I was really getting into with Modern Warfare 2, which I don't really care for the battle royale as much as I like the DMZ. But I'm doing other stuff now. Um, but on my PlayStation, I have an accumulation over 6 years, and on the Series X with the Game Pass, you're kind of like renting a lot of the games, which I'm okay with because I look at this more as a here. Put it this way, I think the last physical game that I purchased ever was the Vanguard Saga of Heroes Collector's Editions. I got two of those when that game came out, and that was the last. I think seriously, I think that was the last physical video game thing I've ever purchased. Everything else is just digital. I don't mind renting it, so to speak, but owning it is a good thing as well with a digital edition. I got a lot of stuff through GOG that I play. I don't really do Steam that much. A lot of stuff through Epic, but the thing I love about the Game Pass is going in here and looking at, just as an example, here's all the recently added games that have popped up that I could just download and try if I wanted to. Firewatch, I've heard great things about, but I've never tried before, so that one's probably going to be. I'm probably going to try that one over the weekend. Um, Quake 2, it's an oldie. Like what's this Airborne Kingdom? Okay, maybe I'll take a look at that. Some of these things are a little too quirky for me, like a short hike. I'll probably never play that. Uh, but some of these things I look at and I say, I know that Exoprimal right now is getting a lot of chatter. That might be something I try. Um, I did get Grand Theft Auto 5 because I wanted to try it. Bramble looks kind of fun. And I think that that's an interesting. I did do a first impressions video on the Bookwalker, which I thought was a really cool and quirky looking thing. But then I like to go to if you go into all the way up here and just go into the Game Pass and look at Show All, right? These are all the games that I could get on the Xbox alone. And then beyond this, you can look at what you get on the PC. By the way, these two games, Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla, I own all three I own that trilogy of Assassin's Creed games on the PS4, and they're amazing games. I loved every minute of them. Um, I did Bard's Tale, the most recent one. I want to say like a year ago. That was really cool. Um, Games come and go off of this. Battletoads. Oh my god, I haven't tried that actually. To be honest with you, that was a great game on the Nintendo back in the days. Uh, Brutal Legend with Jack Black. That was a great game. And you can go through here, and a lot of these, not a lot of shits, but some of these I've put. Oh, by the way, I did Conan Exiles maybe 4 or 5 months ago as well. The value I get for $17 a month with this, and I'll say the same thing for the PlayStation ecosystem. The value that you're going to get for that $15 to $20 a month that you pay to get an access to hundreds of different games that you can play. All of these games are going to give you dozens of hours of gameplay. Some of them will give you hundreds of hours of gameplay. And then there's all the free to play stuff that you can get on the console as well. But the Doom games are awesome. Dragon Age, they got the whole Dragon Age collection here. That's amazing. Um, Tempting, but I have no time right now to go back and do that. Um, the Fable series, the Fallout, well, at least Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, Fallout 76, Fallout New Vegas. Um, Great games, all. You could just go down here and there are just games and games and games and games and games and games and games, which brings me full circle back around to talking about how um, I don't know that any MMORPG is ever going to be able to provide anyone anymore with the amount of value that you're going to get from a subscription based service, whether it's the Xbox ecosystem or the PlayStation ecosystem. And if you're someone who just likes to kick back and play good games, I would argue that it's so worth your money because you get to try lots of cool stuff. And instead of paying $70, which is the cost of most games these days, unless you're talking indie titles, um, instead of spending $70 on something that you may or may not enjoy and it might be a buggy mess, you can instead pay for. What's up, everybody? Quick commercial break here to give it a shout out to our guild champions, who are the highest tier memberships here on YouTube: Ancient Entity, Assassin Gamer 94, Bubbaloni Rising, Crazy's Relative, Mujin, and Remedy. Thanks so much for the highest tier membership. And thanks to all of the members who support the channel, because you keep me doing this full time. You too can become a supporter if you're new here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Join as a member. There's 3 different tiers. We do lots of special stuff, private polls, private videos. You get a shout out if you're the highest tier membership, but you can also do one-off donations in the form of super chats on any live stream or premiere you see, and of course super thanks on any upload or YouTube short. Whatever you can contribute, it's great. Keeps me on the air full time, keeps the cats fed, keeps the homestead running. Anyway, back to the video, everybody. Hundreds of games. And have them at your fingertips to play on demand as you will. And I just think that for me, it's not the only reason that I moved away from MMORPGs, but it's definitely a big reason why I moved away from MMOs. The other thing just being where I'm at in my life right now, I spent years, and I mean couple of decades as a guild leader, running anywhere from 75 to 150 people through MMOs and running raids and being the guild leader and setting up guilds and dealing with all the drama of people and the way MMO gamers get around things. I don't have to deal with that with this. With this I just get to play, and occasionally I might want to do something multiplayer. So it's really cool because I can come in here and say, hey, I'm gonna hop on Diablo 4 on a Thursday afternoon with Gila and play Diablo 4 for a couple hours. Or guess what? My brother wants to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and play Halo: The Master Chief Collection. Or on Friday nights I play Sea of Thieves with my brother and my sister-in-law. There's just it. Really appreciate where I'm at in my life right now. I like that small um, you know, 3 to 4 people that you're grouping with, a very close circle of friends that you're going to jump in and play a game. And it's not the same group for every game. Like I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 with a different group of people than I play, Sea of Thieves with, and I'm playing Diablo 4 with somebody completely different. And I think that when you look at where games are today, I do appreciate the aspect of like Diablo 4 having a robust cross-play system in place where you can play with anybody regardless on their platform. But also, I don't mind when it's something like Halo that is specific to the Xbox. I know some people will get up in arms about exclusivity and everything else, but I'll say that there were so many games I played on the PS4 that I never would have been able to play had I owned an Xbox because there's exclusivity with the PlayStation as well. So I would argue that anyone who's against exclusivity, make sure you rail against PlayStation as much as you're going to rail against Microsoft, because at the end of the day, they're both guilty of it, and it's because of profit reasons. But when you look at the vast majority of games that are here in, like, if I go through all of these games that are in Xbox Game Pass as an example, all these hundreds of games that are here or on the PC, right? How many of these games are actually exclusives versus available in lots of other places? The amount of exclusives are fairly small in comparison, but there's just so much to do and so much to play, and there's only so many hours in the day. But I actually much prefer gaming on a console these days than I do on the PC. I'm very happy to have moved away from MMOs. There's no drama when I'm playing a small multiplayer game with like 2 or 3 people, a couple of my friends, my brother, my sister-in-law, things of that nature. I play Minecraft on Sunday nights with my niece and nephew and my brother. Like, I have a lot more fun these days playing with that small circle, and I think that in terms of the accessibility, Game Pass gives me that and gives me a ton of great games to play without any of the fuss and muss of needing to worry about MMOs anymore. I don't know. So random rambling thought, folks. Really, what I was doing was I was hopping on here to check out Starfield because, yeah, yeah, that got installed today. I think it's 100 gigs right now, and I'm sure there's going to be a patch at some point. And I can't wait to dig my teeth into this thing right here, which is not available yet, but so good. Anyway, folks, that's a rambling video for me this morning. Um, I know that I'm playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 right now, but we are preparing for Starfield. That's the next big thing that's getting into the rotation. I believe my early access kicks off on August 31st. I need to check the time and everything else. And then after that, I've got Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, which I'll be playing here. I'm definitely going to be doing some more Everspace 2. I enjoyed it on the PC, but one of the reasons I never really finished the game was because the performance on my older laptop was not that great. There was some stuttering issues and some frame rate issues that just kind of made me go, you know what? I don't really want to play it this way because I want to stream it and I want to be able to make videos around it. And I wasn't able to do so because I was not getting the performance that I wanted. But the Series X performance is absolutely amazing. And some of that is just the hardware difference between like a 6, 7 year old laptop and the Series X, which, when they optimize something for a console, it's optimized, right. Um, so I don't know. Rambling thoughts. What? Chris is watching me as I talk and laying down with Frodo. Anyway, guys, um, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you like these kind of rambling episodes. Daily streams at 11 a.m. Discord links are down below. More first impressions videos coming to you, so stay tuned. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy gaming.